everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel,
okay, so my plan
welcome.
for this
So
portion
today
was
I
to
am
show
going to
you
do
my
a
peanut butter
quick
oat
meal
bars,
prep. I'm
but
hoping to get this
when
entire thing
I
done
finished
in
making
under
them
an
and
hour.
pulled them out of the fridge
So
for
I'm
cooling,
going to set a
they were
timer.
not the consistency that I
How's
wanted.
that
I had
for
tweaked the recipe, but
staying under
it
the
just
gun
wasn't
and setting the clock. So
as good
hopefully when
as
the
my
timer
old
goes off,
recipe.
I'll
So
be
I'm
finished.
going to
So I have a
play
list.
with this recipe a little while longer, and then once I get that
So
to
for
where
my
I want
list,
it, I will then
this is
refilm
what I
it
plan
and
to
share
do
it with
today.
all
I
of
am
you.
going
So
to make
thanks for
some
understanding. So
chicken and
sorry I
veggie,
did
kind of
not
like a
get
power
to
bowl.
share this
So
recipe
I'm going to
with
do
you
that.
today.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my chicken and my vegetables in the oven so that those can get going. The chicken breasts that I'm using are kind of big, so I'm really hoping that they will get done on time, so cross your fingers. I'm going to need some peppers and onions cut up for our steak sandwiches, so I'm going to go ahead and chop those and get those ready to go. I'm going to need some onions for chili dogs. Maybe I should take you through my menu first. So I'm going to cook 4 days this week. If we need a fifth meal, trust me, I have food here. So we're going to do steak and cheese sandwiches, and if you watched my grocery haul, you'll see the ingredients that I bought for that, so I'll put that in the comments below. We're going to have chili dogs, because who doesn't love chili dogs, right? We're going to have lasagna. Totally cheating with that. And then tacos. So that is going to be our 4 meals. I am not cooking on Thursday. We're going out to dinner tonight, so I think I only need 4 meals. I'm trying not to overbuy. So back to my list of things that I need to do. I need to go ahead and chop onions for the chili dogs, because here's the thing, it's just if I'm already going to be chopping onions for the other meal, I might as well just chop them for the chili dogs and be done with it. I need to brown some ground beef for the tacos. So we're just going to go ahead and pre-make our taco meat just to get that done and out of the way. I'm going to do egg roll in a bowl. And I know this is stretching it, but I used to make my own granola bars, and they used to be a little high in points when I was just doing the green plan. I don't think I've done those since I was doing the green plan, which was like way before I even had this channel. So when I was going through my app, I think there are 2 smart points. So 2 smart points, I'm making granola bars. So hopefully we'll have time to make those today, and you'll be able to see me do that. And I'll make sure that I put that in the title of this meal prep video, because I found that when I start making new recipes on the meal prep days, then you guys have a hard time finding them. I have a hard time remembering where they were. So I'm going to try to remember to start putting those in the titles from here on in, so that at least we know where to find certain things. So with that said, I am going to reposition the camera. We're going to set a timer, and let's see if we can do this. Okay, are we ready? Alexa, set timer, 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
All right, let's get this done. All right, since I don't want to have to do a lot of cleanup, I'm going to go ahead and line my cookie sheets with some foil. And you can see that my cookie sheets are well loved. That just means that, if you use them a lot, they should look like they've been used a lot. When they start looking really, really bad, then I will go ahead and replace them. That's one. We're just going to go ahead and dump some veggies on that now. And today's vegetables are this broccoli Normandy. I forgot this one had the squash in it. The squash does not roast up as good as the other veggies. Probably not my favorite. I would really prefer the California blend. But since I'm roasting these, I'm just going to go ahead and roast extra, because you cannot go wrong with extra veggies at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside. We're going to grab some tongs. We're going to get our chicken on here after I put more aluminum foil. All right, tongs next. All right, and let me know in the comments if you do this too. If you go ahead and get your longer cooking items into, I mean, these are just solidly frozen. You know, I'm gonna, let me know if you put these, you know, longer cooking items into like the oven and such before you start doing anything else. I think it's always the easiest way. Trying to think, should I do 3 or 4? I think I only need 3. These are pretty big, so we're just gonna do 3. Now here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the chicken breast in without putting seasoning on them, because of the fact that I think it's going to be easier to season them after they thaw out a little bit. So when I get ready to flip them, I'll pull them out and I'll start seasoning them then, and we'll go from there. I am gonna go ahead and season the vegetables though. I'm going to use a little bit of spray butter, and I'm going to use, let's see, which one do we want to use today? Maybe we'll use this. So I have Mrs. Dash chicken, so we'll just use that. Spray we're using today is this. Throwing that on there so that it will stick. All right, so we've got that in there. Yep, I think I'm just gonna leave it. Maybe I can get some to stick with this. I just don't think it's gonna stick if I put on it. That's my only worry. Maybe a little. Just where I put the spray. Isn't that funny? All right, so that's on. All right, I'm gonna get these into the oven, and then I will clean this up and then come back. I'm gonna leave the timer running though, so I'm gonna try to move fast. Okay, that's a lot of pans, right? But again, we are multitasking today. We are trying to get it all done. And again, if you have 1 hour, you can get your meal prep done. I'm gonna go ahead and spray my pans. Again, same cooking spray I was using before. Gonna turn on both my front burners. Front. All right, got it. The ground beef that I'm using today is this 93.7 ground beef. This turns out to be, I think 3 or 4 smart points per 4 ounces. But again, we're doing tacos with this, so it's not gonna be so, not gonna be so bad. All right, let's get my package opened here. And I do use my kitchen scissors, and then I just throw them right into the dishwasher and then sterilize them, so it just makes it a little easier. All right, so I've got that one in there. Gonna go ahead and open up my ground chicken. We're gonna pop that right into this pan. I'm gonna wash my hands really quick. Okay, so if you've ever seen me brown my meat before, I always put water in my pan. It just keeps your meat juicy, especially if you're using the leaner cuts of meat. It does make it a little easier to make some of these things. And I guess just keep it moist. I don't know where I was going with that, so we're just gonna leave that alone. All right, so just gonna go ahead and give this a quick little chop. Got that in there. Go ahead and break this up. I think I need a second one of those choppers. What do you guys think? Now my cousin just had a Pampered Chef party. I didn't even think about needing a second one of those. All right. Sorry if that's loud. So I'm just going to throw on some salt and pepper in each of these, and it's just because that's a preference. A little bit of salt. Okay, got that in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 browned. In the meantime, I am going to whip up a nice large batch of couscous. And I'm gonna do a garlic couscous. It's gonna be so good. So the cooking directions just say that I need to combine a cup of water with some butter, which I totally skip, and some salt, bring to a boil, pour in 1 cup. So it's 1-to-1 ratio. Super quick. Wait till you see how fast this comes together. All right, so I'm going to just get some water here really quick. Okay, I'm just gonna give this another quick stir. Totally should switch this up. Bear with me 1 second. I need this at a finer chop than I do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this up a little bit more because you don't want chunks in your tacos. So what I'm gonna do next is I am going to go ahead and turn on my back burner. I'm going to get our water boiling. I've got 2 cups of water here. I could also throw some, maybe I'll do that. I'll throw some better than bouillon in here. Some chicken, since we're having chicken with this dish. And then once that comes to a boil, I will come back and then we will start throwing this together. Almost forgot to show you, this is the better than bouillon that I'm using. I'm just gonna top it, just pop a teaspoon into my pan just to give that a little more flavor since I'm not using the butter. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this whisked in and then I will come back once my water starts boiling. All right, just checking in. Our ground chicken is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the egg roll in a bowl in that pan. And our hamburger meat is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and drain that, and then when I get that drained, I'll come back and hopefully by that time, our couscous will be ready to throw in. So it's moving together pretty quick over here. I think we're sitting at, hold on, let me check. We still have 38 minutes left. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these 2 things done, and then I'll pop back on and we'll start finishing up these 2 items. Okay, I know it's probably getting loud in here, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and the taco seasoning that I'm using is this. That's our oven saying it's coming to temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some taco seasoning. I like to add in about 2 tablespoons. I've got a teaspoon in here right now, so I'm just going to add that in. And then I'm going to add some water. And go ahead and let that simmer and get all yummy. Alright, so let's go ahead and give that a quick little stir. Alright, that looks good. We're just going to let that simmer, and once that simmers down and the water starts to evaporate, we'll go ahead and turn this off and we'll let that cool down, and we're going to throw that into a container so that we'll have that for later. So I'm going to go ahead and cool this pan down here a little bit. Just by throwing some water in. We're going to add in approximately 5 cloves of garlic. So I'm just going to go ahead and push this off to the side here. We're just going to put this garlic right here in the middle. Alright, so we've got that in there. 5, 6, can't go wrong with a little extra garlic, right? Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch gears. Our couscous is ready to go in. We're going to add in 2 cups of dry couscous because we have 2 cups of water in there. That's 1. Here's 2. And this is the whole wheat couscous from Trader Joe's. This one's really good. Alright. So we've got that in there, we've got it stirred up. It's going to be super yummy with that chicken flavoring in there. So we've got, cover, let it stand for 5 minutes. So we're going to shut that off, pull it off the heat. That is done. Alright, so back to our egg roll in a bowl. I actually shut this one off, didn't I? Alright, turn that back on. The next thing we're going to add in is a 1/3 cup of low sodium soy sauce and then 1 teaspoon of ginger. I forgot to pull my soy sauce out. Alright, let's see how much I have of this one. I have this light soy sauce here. So I'm gonna actually hold on to that for a second before I add that in. I think we're gonna go ahead and put the coleslaw in first, because I would like to get the coleslaw in and start getting that wilted down before I add in the soy sauce. So just so you know, our egg roll in a bowl calls for 1 pound of fat-free ground turkey or ground chicken, a package of coleslaw mix, and this is just the regular Kroger brand one that I'm using here, 5 cloves of garlic, a 1/3 cup of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of ginger, and then 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. Oh, that sesame oil makes it smell so good. Like, just the flavor of it, just, whew, trust me. Don't forget that. You definitely want to add that in. All right, so let's go ahead and get our coleslaw in next. Give this a quick stir. Just want that to cook down just a little bit so that it doesn't have that raw garlic flavor. And why? I have no idea. This is just what I heard. So I told you guys I am not a chef by any means. All right, so we're gonna let that just kind of come together there a little bit. I'm gonna say our taco meat is done. It looks great, so we're gonna pull that off the heat next. Let that start to cool down. Look at us, we just have 1 pan left on the stove. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mix all that together. Just get that incorporated. And then we're gonna dump in a full pound of coleslaw mix. Now you can add in more. I've sometimes doubled the coleslaw mix, and it still works out just fine. All right, there we go. So we're just gonna go ahead and let that cook down. And once that starts to wilt a little bit, I will come back so I don't bore you, and then we will finish up this recipe. Coming together really quick, right? Okay, I figured I'd focus you on this pan since it's the only one that we have left. And now we're gonna go ahead and start filling together the rest of the ingredients. So next we're gonna put in 1 teaspoon of ginger root. So I have my ginger here, and it just comes in a tube. Ginger paste. Makes it work out real well. You don't have to worry about peeling it or doing anything with it. So go ahead and just pop it right here in the middle. How's that? Super easy, right? Alright, so we have that in there. Next up, we're going to add in our soy sauce, which I don't think I have enough of. I'm going to have to open this other one real quick. Again, this is the one that I'm using. Just going to go ahead and pour that in. And then the backup one is the low sodium from Great Value from Walmart. Just going to go ahead and finish filling up there. And then we're just going to pour this all over. And that is like a flavor explosion for your nose. I guess it's a smell explosion, huh? Smell-o-vision. Look at that. So good. It's just layer upon layer of flavor when you make this. If you've not made this one before, I'm telling you, just try it. If you like egg rolls, this is so good. All right, the last thing we're gonna add in is some sesame oil. And we have 2 teaspoons of that. So this is the sesame oil that I'm using. Look, I'm almost out. This is how often I make this. Alright, so that's 1. And here is 2. And when I start to chop my veggies, I did buy some scallions. So I am going to chop up some scallions, some fresh scallions and put on this. But since you don't cook those, you can just throw those in any time. So I just figured instead of me taking the time to chop and then come back and get everything ready, I would just do all my chopping at once. So look at that. So yummy, right? All right, so I'm gonna turn this one off. We're gonna let this one cool down as well and run out of bare spots to put stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, and then once I get that done, we will start seeing what's next on our list. Okay, so it has been 35 minutes since we started this prep. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull our chicken out and flip it and give our veggies a stir. So we're just gonna flip these over, let these finish cooking. These may take a little bit longer than our hour, so I may have to go beyond my hour, which I kind of figured I would, but at least having a timer set and having things, you know, having a deadline, at least it kind of moves you along a little bit quicker. But again, I'm going to try to finish up everything else. So let's kind of get this back in. Give those veggies a quick stir. Those are roasting really well. Flip this around. All right. So hopefully you were able to see that instead of my big head. So, all right, so we got that going. And let me show you our couscous. Okay, so once the couscous gets done, you just basically fluff it with a fork. Check it out. All done. Pretty easy, right? Now, I was gonna make this a garlic couscous, but I forgot to put the garlic in. So now we're just gonna have a chicken couscous, which is just fine. I think it's still gonna be great. So, all right, so look at just so fluffy. All right, so we're gonna let that cool off, and then we're gonna put that into our meal prep container when it's done. Done cooling off, I guess. All right, so let me clean up here, and then we will get started on the chopping of the vegetables. Okay, I just went ahead and washed everything and just went ahead and pulled the peeling off of our onion just to make this go a little quicker. I'm gonna go ahead and set our dish over here. Now, I did say we're gonna need some onion for our chili dogs. I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and start pulling this one together so that we can have this with our steak sandwiches. I'm going to chop some this way just so it kind of goes all the way through the steak sandwich, and then I'm going to go ahead and chop the rest in rings. I just think that sometimes just having those little thin strips are always nice to have. Kind of make it, I don't know, want to say like a Philly cheesesteak, kind of, sort of. All right, so we've got those in there. I'm gonna grab another container really quick so that we can throw our chopped onions in it. Was quick. And again, when I am making my chili dogs later this week, I don't have to stop and take the time to dirty up the cutting board again and pull together, you know, just grab another knife. I mean, it just kind of saves time during the week. So anything that you can get done, the earlier the better. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and slice our green peppers. I don't want to chop them, definitely want to slice these. Throwing everything over into my sink. I'll just do one quick cleanup once I get over there. Shaking the seeds off of here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the other one ready so that all we have to do is slice at the same time. Sometimes I can do this and not get any seeds, and then sometimes it's like seeds galore. so we're just gonna go ahead and chop these to strips. I think I'm gonna cut these in half though. I think they might be better that size. Pop those into our container. And you can see these meal prep containers. They don't just have to be for like leftovers or, you know, your prepped meals. You can use them just to kind of store some of your ingredients too. All right, got that in there. And we definitely like the peppers, so having extra peppers is just gonna be a score for us. All right. All right, so I'm gonna finish getting these chopped and then I will come back and we will see what's next on our list.
Okay, so the footage that I filmed for the peanut butter chocolate chip oatmeal bars was great, but the end product was not what I wanted. So the consistency of the bars was not what I was looking for, since I did a couple of tweaks to the recipe. So what I'm going to do is, instead of sharing that here, I'm going to go ahead and work on this recipe, and once I get it down pat to where it's really good again, I will refilm this and share it with you. So thanks so much for your understanding. Let's continue on with the video.
And oh my goodness, I almost forgot to get my onions ready. So if you have not chopped green onions before, you just take out the tops off. And then I always slice these as thin as I can get them, just at the top here, because sometimes they can be a little spicy. And then sometimes there's like a little green thing here. I always pull this off. It's not on all of them, just you'll feel it when you start doing it. And just continue on chopping as you go. I usually get a little bigger once I get down to the green ends. And I'll throw the rest of these little ones away. And here, we'll bring over our egg roll in a bowl, and I'll show you how pretty that looks on top. You ready? Watch this. Very pretty, right? I mean, just gorgeous. Extra pop of color, extra pop of flavor. Can't go wrong with that. Okay, here are our veggies. And here is our chicken. Listen to it sizzle. So we're gonna let this cool off, and then once it cools, we'll get it into our meal prep containers. And then I will be done. Now, I bet you're wondering what I'm doing for breakfast. I'm gonna throw together some egg sandwiches on English muffins. So if I get those done, I'll pop a picture in here. I'm probably gonna do those tomorrow morning. And then I'll pop a picture in here before I close out this video, just so you'll see those. Maybe I'll give you a quick little 2-minute discussion on those. And then I'll close this out. But again, trying to keep these a little shorter, because sometimes it's hard to get it all in. But again, I think I've been prepping for maybe an hour and 10 minutes. That's really not that bad. And I think I got a lot done. So hang tight, and then I will start putting these into my lunch containers. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and throw in about 1 1/3 cups of the egg roll in a bowl on that side. 1 1/3 cups here. Then I have a 1/3 one here. I'm just gonna put the rest of it in here. Let me see, I'm just gonna measure it out and see where I'm at. A little more than 1 1/3 cups, so I think I'll just have that just I know that's loud, hold on. I'll talk after I scoop. Okay, there we go. Just gonna set that one aside and have that for a snack, or if I get hungry, or if I just need a quick dinner during the week. So I'm gonna put veggies on the side of this. I just haven't decided what veggies I want to put in there yet. And 9 times out of 10, what I'll do is just open up a can of green beans and put in here with these. Not sure if I could locate a can of green beans right now, because I'm telling you, I so need to go through that kitchen cabinet. It is horrible. And see what I have in there. But I'll probably just find some green beans and then throw those in there and have that as a side, or I'll just mix up some more frozen veggies and throw that in there. But I always like to have extra veggies because they're good for you. I mean, if especially if you are hungry at lunchtime, definitely throw extra veggies in your container just so you can have those. All right, so let's get our other containers out and start filling our chicken ones. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start filling our meal prep containers for my lunches. I'm gonna go ahead and do a 1/2 cup of couscous. We're gonna see what that looks like. And we're gonna do a whole cup of that. Wasn't sure how that would look in these meal prep containers, and I would rather have a little bit extra prepped than, you know, than get there and be hungry at the end of the day. All right, so that's our second one. Then our third. And then what I'm gonna do with the rest of this is I'll just have this as a side dish with one of my dinners later in the week. All right, so we have that in there. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in our veggies, our roasted veggies. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and separate these veggies into the different containers, just kind of sprinkle some on top. Those turned out so good. I think that the squash turned out better this time. Again, I would still rather have the California blend because that's just my preference, but this will work this week. I will definitely finish eating that bag because we don't want to let that food go to waste. All right, so that looks pretty good. And then I cut up 2 of those chicken breasts. I didn't figure that I needed, let's continue to sit here and scoop these veggies. I didn't think I needed all 3, so I'm gonna save that 3rd one and I'll add that to a salad or a wrap later this week. All right, so the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in some of that chicken. How's that look? So I think 3 chicken breasts or 2 chicken breasts might have been too much. So I still have, let's see if I can get this in here, that much left. So definitely gonna add that to a salad later. All right, so those are done. How do those look? Pretty good, right? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and at the end of this video, you'll see a picture of my breakfast sandwiches. So with that said, I hope that you found something that you would like to duplicate during today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed today's meal prep. And I'm going to sign off from here. Again, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave some comments, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and have a great week.